Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining. So I wanted to start that I'm transitioning to hybrid where I'm working some days from home and some days from the office. As I worked when we just started, and that's why I'm transferring all the in-person people to the in-person days and virtual people to virtual days.
Are you like trying to leave me? Or
No,
like
I'm just
the
transitioning to
floor?
hybrid because I have space now at home which I want to use and just save time for commuting because sometimes it's about 3 hours back and forth. And in 3 hours I can do laundry for sure, or I can cook something, or I can clean or put away laundry. Like, there are things to be done.
Okay. Your new camera looks different.
Is it better or worse?
It looks very funny. It looks like your head is shrunk. Like it's very very funny looking.
No. Well, maybe because it's a tablet and it's on a little bit of a angle.
I think
so
it's
yeah.
not explainable by that. Like I don't know. It looks like special effects or something. I don't know. Like you might as well
that
be
was
wearing
great.
cat ears or something.
Oh no. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna be with shrink head now.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know how to react to this because I don't know, like, what kind of boundaries should I put on my mind when I see like a visual like this, So I don't know. I'm laughing a little bit, but yeah.
This is if we ever had the session when I worked from home, even back in the days.
This is not the first time it looked like this, but today it's even like more like.
Maybe that's because I tried to put the sleek band on. Maybe that's why. Maybe
Oh.
that's also. It could be.
Well,
But anyway, you think Wednesday will work? Like this time on Wednesday, is it good for you?
yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Alright then, thank you. Because I'm still trying to navigate everybody. The schedules were pretty set, but now in-person people, they only have certain availability, and I'm just like, oh my god. I'm trying to work with everybody. How have you been? How's your week going so far?
I think I think I'm getting a cold virus, and it's and also like no family for Thanksgiving, so I don't know. How's it going? Like from my end, that's how's it going.
Who would you want to have around you for Thanksgiving?
Maybe Patrick's dad. Yeah.
Have you heard from him at all this year or in the latest month?
I don't remember if I heard from him this year, but if it was this year, it was it was a while ago. Yeah.
It is difficult to have those holidays around because all the people that got family, they will talk about it and they will share family plans, and for people that don't have family or lost someone recently, it's extremely difficult.
Yeah, also like managing the meals. I bought like gravy and mashed potato mix, but it was like the worst. Like you couldn't even keep that stuff down, and it wasn't like expired or anything. It was just I saved some in case somebody else wants some, but it was like prepackaged gravy and prepackaged mashed potatoes. So now I'm like what am I gonna cook too? I mean, I have a turkey, but it's just not fun. Like it should be.
Have you tried, do you like potatoes in general?
I eat a lot of potatoes.
What is your favorite kind? How do you prefer to cook it?
I haven't been cooking it that much because my kid doesn't eat it as much as I do. But I like to fry it or boil it or bake it. You could do, yeah. you could do anything with a potato. So, yeah. Just, I don't like, I don't know, I just don't feel good. Like, I don't feel secure or, like, really, like, safe and loved.
I like this reflection. Okay, can you tell me more? Where are those feelings coming from? Was it that you had a
I feel
realization?
like somebody owes me something, like, you know, like a lot of, like Patrick's dad's not being accountable, and, like, I don't know, like, Trump's been firing people. Did you?
That's a switch. You know, that's a little bit of a switch. That's a very like, okay, I don't want to talk about my heavy stuff anymore, and I'm gonna switch to politics immediately. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't even know what to focus on, because I feel like my life has a lot to do with, sadly, with, like, authority and, you know, law enforcement and all that, and welfare too. So this does affect me, you know, and the paranormal part, because this is funny. You know, like he had like an interview before he won with Joe Rogan and stuff, and Joe Rogan's like into paranormal. They discuss like UFOs and stuff.
Yeah, I heard of him.
So like one time, because my YouTube, it'll just give me whatever I've been clicking, so it gave me like a channel for people discussing like UFOs officially. So what they're really like they're really like vying for is transparency from like the government branches, so they can identify what's in the sky, you know. So it's kind of like, I was thinking, if somebody was, you know, vying for like FBI transparency, and like Trump he might be saying, oh, they're wasting all this money and all this stuff. So that's a good team of them. And they might actually investigate what's in this food over, you know, in the ghetto too, because the RFK was talking about that specifically.
I heard him talking, but look, he also said he's the author of a quote that there was a worm in my brain that ate part of my brain.
Oh my.
I don't know how we should take it. I don't know if it's like...
Well, I mean, at least he's honest with his, like, you know, his background, you know, because a lot of politicians, they could be super rich and dishonest about their backgrounds. Because look at Biden, he was, he used to be a segregationist, so, and a lot of black people were very disappointed to find that one out. And look how long he hid it for like a long time. Yeah. So I don't know how that makes me feel, because, you know, a lot of people, they're like laughing about it or whatever, but he's doing what he said, and he's firing people. And I know, like, you know, I know I have FBI problems. I don't know, you know, but who am I to, like, you know, demand things now when I'm just sitting here like this? Like, please just maybe, you know, investigate some of this stuff. So, you know.
How does that affect you? Is this giving you more thoughts to think about the future, about the country?
Yeah, but, you know, like, I'm thinking in terms of me, you know, but I'm just thinking how many of these people are affected similarly, like how many losers there are throughout that were affected by, like, the authorities acting indecently, or the food being contaminated. You know, how many people other than me makes it so much more real, you know? And like, I've been sitting here for a long flipping time, and I have like, you can't tell me I'm paranoid now, because I told my other therapist that I did I called the FDA even, you know?
Or what?
it's a logic complaint that these stores are like selling tampered products, and like they lodged
What was their response?
they lodged a complaint, and that's it. I don't know how many complaints they need to start an investigation, like a real and actual one. And so all that UFO crap, it's like, okay, that might be baloney to you, right? But in just the idea in general, it just feels like they want to decensor a lot of stuff. And so people, like people like me, like lame people, can live, because sometimes authorities. So I feel like the authority was given to the wrong people. That it just seems like life has been somewhat miserable, and it's not just for me.
I'm surprised, in general, to hear about the FDA complaint. And based on, say, I discussed more complaints that were filed to 311, or when people call to the FDNY.
I'm a complainer. I've called 311 too. I called 311. Should you keep going, or should I interrupt you?
No.
You were talking. I kind of interrupted you. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying that usually they mention multiple complaints. Say with 311, I know for them to take action against the landlord or management company, it's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, 5 complaints filed. From the same person, or anonymously, or from different people, it does not matter, but it should be on file for preventing some violence around some, say, if there is a group of people around the square by the supermarket and people get offended by those folks, someone need to file those complaints, and then there will be an action. And one time is never enough. So
I thought one time might not be enough, but I got lucky because I kept calling about the electricity. My electricity was not adding up, and it was like humongous bills for no reason. And they really couldn't do anything about it, but they went and they changed the meters like citywide. So I'm thinking maybe it's just been like a slew of bad landlords made the city pay for the new meters so people would stop complaining. So that kind of helped me out. And they changed this management company. So whatever mistakes, they're going to say, like, if I ever took it up again, they're going to say, oh, it's a clerical error or whatever. But you know how people are. People, like, pigs could be very, very hard up. And I can't deal with it, So, it takes a lot of 311 complaints. So I have complained to 311 about the electricity, but there's no reason to complain anymore because they have a meter on it now, and there's no reason to complain about anything really in here because there's new management.
Yes and no, even with the meters. So I had a situation in the apartment that I moved in, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. There was a meter, but since people moved out and some floors were connected, I was somehow paying the debt that left from the previous people. And I needed to explain it because I just moved in on my first month. My electricity bill was like $250, which is impossible. And I was
You're saying that's impossible. My electricity bill is often $250, but when it was like $400 and I didn't have anything in here, like anything on, I knew it wasn't me using it. I knew it wasn't me using it. And as soon as they changed it, my electricity bill went down like by half, more than half. Like 50 to 75% of my electricity is down now because nobody's stealing it,
Well, that's lovely because seriously, in my case, it was something that there was an outlet outside of the building, and some neighbors were using it for their purposes, for something, and it was on my meter somehow, and it took forever, and then landlord was involved because they mandated him to have a separate meters for the outside of the building and inside of the building. Like, it was the whole thing, but meters sometimes can also be a little tricky.
Yeah, because, it's a meter that solves one problem, but I just feel like these past couple of years, my life has been nothing but problem solving, and I am, stressed out to the max. I want my revenge, or I want peace, now, and it's just, this whole thing just, it makes me nervous. This whole freaking living here and not, really knowing what's going on with anything, because they're gonna move us out too. Like, I don't know where the hell they're gonna move us out, and I'm with a kid, and already we have problems. It's not fun, is all I can say. And it's like it's not good for me, is what I'm saying. But it's like I don't have a choice.
Not necessarily the choice. You definitely have the voice. Well, the choice, yes, to live in a different apartment. We don't have multiple apartments to choose from where we're living today or this season, that's for sure. But you do have your voice. You do have ability to check out whether you will consider to see, I don't know, do you have a voucher for the house to check out the other places that you were building?
Not
better?
yet, and I'm not moving either, because I can't just keep moving around hoping that, somebody will love me. Adult strangers aren't just gonna like adopt a grown-ass lady and her child. I might as well stick it out here, and maybe they'll make it less noisy. That's another thing. Like, this apartment is a little bit noisy, but I don't know. Like, there's nothing really so horrible about this apartment. It's just me, It's just my persons. It just feels like I'm being violated, like my privacy and all the hell that comes with it.
Violated by, who do you think violates it the most? Is there a certain...
I don't know. See, that when you start talking like that, it's you're either gonna take it from a viewpoint of emotion, which is my emotion, how do I feel about it, or who can I prove is violating me the most,
From point of emotion, who do you think gives you most of this distress and this feeling?
I don't even know. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just stressed. I could say it, but I don't know how to prove it, whatever. So I don't even know. What do you think?
I think it's the support, because with difficult situations that grow in life, we'll learn how to be very defensive and how to survive. It's always a survival mode. And then it becomes very difficult to let people in. Especially if we're talking about revisiting some stuff, how, say...
Well, you literally don't want to let everybody in,
Yeah.
Because
well, not even everybody. Imagine if Patrick's dad will knock on your door right now. Would you let him in? Would you really want to talk to him?
I will let him in, and we will both attack him and not let him leave, probably, because we need answers. And
yeah.
Yeah.
But it will be so hard because it was a betrayal that he left. It wasn't expected from him.
I don't even know how to talk about this situation, because it's just should I fight him? Should I?
Many mixed feelings here, right?
Yeah, because then somebody else will be saying, oh, well, that's not like how you're supposed to treat family. But I can't believe that he's here with us suffering all that we suffer, but I couldn't believe that he for no reason just didn't want to be in our lives. I feel like he's probably got very valid reasons, and they'll probably be heard.
Well, again, what is valid reasons? Sometimes I hear...
You have to ask him, because I just know him. I know the kind of person he is, but to me they might not never be valid, because to me it's still physically I am here, and I'm here with my child. So
every day, exactly. And what is it? Imagine people often say Father's Day. I have a father who was saying, well, I left and I was younger and the kid was younger, and then I couldn't find the right time, because everything just felt so long ago. And we were talking how this concept of time The more you wait, the more far away it will be from you. Because it's already been X amount of time that you missed. And it's not going to get shorter, it's not going to shrink, it's going to stretch. And it's difficult for people, it's difficult for us, and I would include myself in this category, to accept our whole flaws and that we did not do well. They're like, I screwed up. It's not a pleasant feeling. We all avoid it this way or another. We try to, find our ways around it and not be disgusting.
See, when it's family, you could or if it's love, you could break down and tell them, and you could talk about, like all the nonsense like that's flying at your head, and they would just understand, or if they don't understand, they tell you to slow down and explain yourself. But when it's like, even if it's like somebody that you believe to be wise all on their own, like you don't just go and share things, it might not be helpful. So so, and I really feel like my friends or my family, they know what's going on.
Do you think they still in touch with him? Or you mean they know what's going on with you and Patrick?
They know what's going on with me. They must be spies. They are spying on me, maybe even right now.
What will be the way to spy on you? I never hear you using social media. You never use words like, I posted, I connected. You never say that. How would they know?
I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just that they know me so well. They know my moods so well. And sometimes we don't even need to, use words, because I feel like we've reached some point at our, relationship where, we just trust each other. But it's just kind of very still kind of anxious situation for me, and I really feel like I'm wasting away a little bit, and it's like if I struggle to be like something I'm not, like social or normal, I'll just make it worse for myself. I'll just cause a disaster, it's not like I don't want to have a job or to have friends or something. It's just that I think I would have what might be labeled as a panic attack, but I would definitely throw a shit fit if I was forced to deal with a bunch of obnoxious people trying to harass me.
It could be a bunch of stuff. It could be the social anxiety. It could be
it's always this other stuff that it could be, but it's never what it is, because we never fix it. So
you can fix it. To answer your question, the second part of my answer of what do I think it is, I think it's also you've been in a survival.
I feel like you were saying to me, cognitive restructuring, but I can't
cognitive restructuring, yes,
be an animal. I can't. The only way that I would find my social situation normal and pleasant is if I reduce myself to an animal, and I feel like that's worse, not better.
Well, look, it's behavioral activation. So in our work, we talk because it's verbal mental health therapy, whereas behavioral activation, it's to activate some actions. Your behavior affects certain things that you do. Say, the simplest thing, I don't know, I drink a lot of coffee. My behavioral activation strategy will be to okay, why do I drink coffee? I like its taste, and I also think that it helps me now to be more awake.
If I ever drink a cup of coffee, though, if you ever drank a cup of coffee and you knew somebody put a laxative in it or something and you had to run to the bathroom, would you ever really let it go? Maybe if it was once, you would let it go, but I don't know, would you let it go? Sometimes I feel the anger, it's difficult to let go.
That's the part, that's the hardest part. Because first, I've been in coffee for a long time. Everything I did since graduating high school, probably, since I realized how it's good. And I worked in coffee shops at some point in my life. So I love it too. I love, to smell it, all of the cupping. Before COVID, I could sense note of peach, note of cherry, or is it vanilla, or is it some nutmeg in there added? And I really do love it. So I compromise with myself, and instead of drinking some shitty coffee, I will try to, I'm going to make my own. I will make a pot, and I will drink it. But say it's not necessary for me nowadays to go to the coffee shop every time, walk to the office with a cup of coffee. No. That's the behavior.
I gave up coffee now. I tried some coffee and then I gave it up again because it's doing bad things to me. It's just, I'll try it later, but I don't know.
No, the example was for behavior activation. Say when people are depressed and struggle with, go and get an appointment somewhere. We need to understand what should we do to overcome, because right now it's not
everything
objective. It's very much subjective because the person is caught in the circle of fear, caught in the circle of anxiety, and we need to break this cycle. How do we do it? We start with some simple stuff. Positive affirmations in the morning, trying something pleasant, tracking how your mind is talking. Is it always very negative, or is it sometimes positive? And all of this eventually, sometimes in 2 months, 3 months, sometimes in 6 months, which is also good. Look, everybody got different speed. People manage that. But it depends on also outside circumstances. Because if the person is not stable, does not have food to eat, they have trouble putting their kids to daycare, I cannot sit here and say hey, let's try meditation. Because if basic needs are not covered, this is not effective. So we need to prioritize.
Everything just comes harder to me.
Was it always like this?
I feel like it's not fair. For a long time it has, though. Maybe not always, but for a long time it has. And I feel it's not fair, and I may be adjusted behaviorally because I am an animal, but I will always know that it's not fair, So I will always be sitting there hoping that somebody will make it fair for me, will make it just for me. Why am I the one that's adjusting?
Well, what do you see? What's the way out of there?
What way out of what?
If everything comes harder to you, what's the way out? How to make some things easier? Do you have the power over?
I don't, because I'm not an authority on anything. Because,
Is there anything right now in your life that
nobody really talks to me? Cops don't talk to me if I tell them stuff either, And the best that I could hope for is more stress, so...
I hear you. In the moment of November gratefulness season, I would check, what do you think you did well this year? Because there are quite a few things. Quite a few. And you open to some ideas, and sometimes when the mood is good, I know you're trying things. You're open to try some stuff. It's just difficult based on all of the previous experiences. It's harder sometimes.
I try stuff because I know that time is ticking, even though, I may not be in an optimal situation to do something. I still have to do it because time is ticking. And sometimes I just do stuff just to take care of, us. I vinyl tiled my floor this year. That was very hard, The society care? No, but I care. And that's the way I try to function. But then if I keep functioning like that, I'm like this weird little animal on the outskirts of everything. And it's just, it feels depressing, sometimes, a little bit. But I know I have a lot of potential. And I just don't want to get too excited about, that, because I know I have a bright little boy. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't do anything wrong. So I know people get mad at that too. If I start acting like I'm hot shit, people will get mad. But, on the topic of hot shit, I've had like some coffee where, not, yeah, so I don't like, I don't know. I don't sit around feeling sorry for myself. That's why.
Okay, I like that. I will quote you on that. Are you guys planning to get a little bit of Thanksgiving mood with something? Would you be interested? There are some resources I can provide you with, some local Bronx-based things that are, sometimes it's master classes, sometimes it's family movie nights in community things. Would you be interested in that? Do you think it's possible?
I have the internet, and one of my friends, literally for lack of anything else to tell me, he like unloads a bunch of links in my text messages every week of places to go, like art places or whatnot. So I'm okay with that. It's I'm okay with finding something to do or somewhere to go. That's not really what's holding me down. So yeah.
Because there is this the Bronx Hype organization. They try, they sometimes come to the clinic and give those like speeches on our staff meetings, explaining what they have, explaining the resources that are available for people. Sometimes it sounds pretty good. I mean, if you feel like you would want to try something and maybe community involvement to meet some people that can be on your side of the corner.
Bronx is pretty far from me, so like I can look stuff up on my own, and just, like not, I don't know. I was thinking of going now because it's like been half an hour.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather seems very nice.
Oh no, I mean like getting off the chat with you though.
Oh, yes,
live
sure.
chat.
Yeah, because we're a little bit late. I just wanted to finish up the conversation. Well, thank you, Ilona. I'll see you same time next Wednesday.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Bye.